Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Eye on Port. And we have brought you back again into the studio because we took some short break from the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations, for almost a month. We were not in the studio to listen to you live and also have you talk to our guest live. However, we tried as much as possible to get back to our usual practice where we're reporting almost all the events around the port industry from the port itself. And we hope that in that period or within that period, we're able to bring you all the activities around the port industry. This evening, we're going to be in the studio here. We will be listening to you, and we will also be having discussions around the industry to see the way forward, because quite a number of issues are happening around there, majority of it being positive, and it's important that you get to know all of that going into the future. We're going to have the Ghana Shippers Authority with us. We're also going to have the Ghana Union of Traders Association also with us. And then we will talk about all the issues around the port. We'll talk about fees and charges. We'll talk about whether the traders are getting satisfied with all the policies that are being implemented around the port business, and also the activities that are going there, whether they are benefiting directly. All of that will come up pretty shortly. In the meantime, let me just let you know some of the things happening in the form of news around the port industry. Beginning, the Ghana Navy, for instance, this week were able to rescue about 8 Turkish, I'm told, and they were actually hijacked. Their vessel was hijacked in the Nigerian waters, all the way in Nigeria, but it took the Ghanaian Navy its intervention to rescue those folks. Take a listen.
The Ghana Navy has rescued 8 crewmen on board Turkish vessel Paskoi 1 after they were attacked and abandoned on sea by pirates in Nigerian territorial waters. The vessel was en route to La Côte d'Ivoire from Cameroon when the pirates kidnapped 10 crewmen of the total 18, including the captain of the vessel. The pirates were believed to have done so for ransom for the release of the captives. The rescued 8 have been brought to the Tema port, where the ambassador of Turkey has been contacted to arrange for their safe travel back to Turkey and other necessary arrangements. The Turkish ambassador to Ghana, who confirmed that the rescued 8 are in good health, expressed appreciation to the Ghana Navy and allied security authorities for bringing the troubled Turkish crewmen and vessel to safety in Ghanaian waters. Commodore James Konto, flag officer in charge of the Eastern Naval Command, bemoaned the threats the Gulf of Guinea is posing on travelers, but affirmed the Ghana Navy's resolve to ensure Ghana's territorial waters remain safe.
Gulf of Guinea area is becoming very, very notorious for piracy, kidnapping like that. But we are trying to make sure that our waters, territorial waters, are safe. Most of the time we have our patrol boats carrying out vigorous patrols to make sure that the pirates are not here.
Well, so quite some good news that at least about 8 of them were rescued, about 10 of them already kidnapped by the pirates. Not too good a news, but we'll continue to pray that effective collaboration among the security agencies on the entire corridor there will be able to deal with the situation. Also, the Director General of the Port and Harbours Authority met with the staffs union headed by the Maritime and Dock Workers Union to brief them about situations when it comes to the concession agreement between the Port and Harbours Authority and Meridian Port Services. He assured them that all is under control.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Lugoje, and the Director of Tema Port, Sandra Opoku, has met the staff of GPHA, led by the Maritime and Dock Workers Union of Ghana, and the local staff union executives of GPHA, to assure them of no job losses in the wake of the commencement of the new MPS Terminal 3 operations.
We are working towards preventing that so-called danger we are all afraid of. So, if you ask me, we don't need to waste our time today. I want us to make time for when we are back here to tell you the good news we've gotten from those discussions we are having as parties to the MPS agreement. And rest assured, what the President requested is that everything should be done to ensure that We don't declare a single person redundant.
The DG of GPHA revealed that agreement in order to bring a fair solution to the concerns of GPHA and its staff.
The president's appeal was that if that contract is creating difficulties that would not let us enjoy that project as expected of us, then it is our responsibility as parties to that agreement to sit together and make some sacrifices that will help us prevent the and that, just as we mentioned to the executives of MPO and your unions, we are going to involve them in the item-by-item negotiations we are going to have with MPS.
He therefore urged workers of GPHA to continue working hard at their daily duties while they wait on the discussions that are currently ongoing.
But what is important is that whilst we are making a case that we don't want a single person to lose a job, we should be seen to be committed to continuously working even better than we're doing before.
The director of Temaport, Sandra Opoku, on her part, assured that a few technological difficulties that were witnessed in the past few days were as a result of integration with the new Terminal 3 of the MPS, and the problem will soon be over.
We've had a whole lot of problems, and we know that when something new starts, there's going to be teething problems, and that is what has affected all of us. There's been a problem with the online tracking system, as my brother said. So many errors, and they are trying to resolve it.
The union executives expressed renewed faith in the management of GPHA and assured of close collaborations with management to ensure GPHA is secure for the development of Ghana.
We have a lot of interest, and our interest is to see GPHA of yesterday as GPHA of today. We are giving you our assurance this morning to say thank you very much for coming. Look, we will continue to remain as watchdogs for this contract. We will not relent.
Now, the Importers and Exporters Association, a group of them, also called on the Director General to wish him well and also familiarize with the terrain, the port terrain, regarding activities ongoing there.
The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, together with key players in the port and trade sector, have paid a working visit to the management of GPHA to familiarize themselves with developments in the organization. The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, together with key players in the port and trade sector, have paid a working visit to the management of GPHA to familiarize themselves with developments in the organization. Samson Asaki, the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association, expressed its outfit's keen interest in the issues affecting the port industry and asked to be involved in dialogues towards policy formulations.
We have a very robust unions in the country so far as Traders Association is concerned in this country. And as you said, now that we are even having a bigger port, look at Sub-Sahara, look at West Africa and Central Africa, the stakeholder engagement is very paramount. We are prepared to support Ghana and, for that matter, the port.
He expressed excitement of the newly launched MPS Terminal 3, believing it would facilitate trade, and asked the Port Authority to play its essential role to harness opportunities thereof.
We are happy that when they talk of port in both West and Central Africa, with the new terminal that just came on board now and in operations, we have been told and we've been briefed by the CEO of the MPS Terminal 3 that very soon importers will be saving a lot of money.
John Mante, executive member of the technical committee of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, touching on the Port Development Infrastructure Fund, which is an account created by GPHA for all participating stakeholders in the port sector to contribute into, to create sufficient funds for Ghana to be able to build port infrastructure in the future, asked for more transparency from GPHA in order to feel more involved in its advancement.
If that report is ready, if you can share it in due course after you guys have done your due diligence on it, because we strongly believe that is the way to go, and so that the proper structure is set up in terms of having a board and all the necessary ingredients that it needs. Because of course, there are Ghanaians out there who would probably want to make input or make contribution onto that fund.
Like Kweku Otre-Darko, also a technical committee member of GIF, encouraged heads of GPHA to continue in their usual engagement with industry players at all levels.
Like they said, I also implore you to be put on that GCC platform, because it's a very hot platform where almost all the operational issues and pressing issues at the port are sometimes discussed.
The DG of GPHA, Michael Lugoje, embraced the call to be part of all engaging forums that will promote the development of the industry.
Your proposal for us, myself and Director of Temaport, to be on the, is it JCC? Is significant. Even if we won't be making contribution, at least we know what is being discussed and we can ask those who can provide the right response to do so.
He also explained why he believes the new MPS Terminal 3, which was designed to not only serve the local market, but also to be a hub for transshipment services across the region, is timely and better placed for business than competing neighboring countries.
One of the attractions we are going to have with Terminal 3 is that because Ghana's economy already has its own productive capacity, you are going to get Terminal 3 becoming more attractive than Lome's MSC terminal, because Togo's economy doesn't generate the kind of volumes that we generate here. So anybody who is choosing a hub will want to look at where the local economy itself can generate some volumes.
On the Port Development Infrastructure Fund, the Director General lauded the initiative of the past Director General, Paul Asarianta, for bringing it into being, and emphasized that the current GPHA administration would ensure its continuation.
The PIDF, of course, PIDF is a commendable idea, and that credit certainly will go to Mr. Paul Ansah, because even when he was in charge of marketing, he kept talking about it. So fortunately, when he became DG, he had to make sure it started. And it started, it's a good thing, it has to continue.
Okay, so my guest in the studio, Madam Na Densua Ayite. She's the head of Shipper Services and Trade Facilitation with the Ghana Shippers Authority. Madam, good to see you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you in the studio.
It's a pleasure.
Hope all is well with Ghana Shippers Authority.
Yes.
Good. Yes, also in the studio is Nana Poku, my own brother, Greater Accra Regional Secretary for Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, right?
Yes.
Nana, pleasure to have you around.
Pleasure to see you, my good friend.
From the break, a lot of things on the trade front to also be hearing from Ghana Shippers Authority, what they have been doing, who they are, what they've been doing on behalf of you who patronize the port and also deal with business in the country. We'll return pretty shortly after the break.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Ghana Trade Hub and GHLinkedIn.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Utiliser les ports de Tema et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières.
Les femmes, à vous les honneurs.
Les ports de Tema et de Takoradi célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
Welcome back from the break. Still watching Iron Port, and we're back in the studio after almost a month break from the African Cup of Nations. My guest in the studio is Nadine Suayite. She's the head of Shipper Services and Trade Facilitation at the Ghana Shippers Authority. Also, Nana Puku is the Greater Accra Regional Secretary for the Ghana Union of Traders Association. We're going to talk trade. We'll talk about port. We'll talk about fees. We'll talk about charges. We'll talk about educating the industry players and also those of you who patronize the industry as well. You may join the conversation sending your comments via WhatsApp 020-866-3161, 020-866-3161 is a WhatsApp number. Kindly send us a WhatsApp. Do not call the WhatsApp numbers. I often realize that those watching from overseas, you love to call the WhatsApp numbers. Do not call. It's strictly for texting. And then the phone lines, the one you can call is 02055283353. 02055283353 is the number you can call, but you don't have to call now. You are going to call just about, I think it's supposed to be 6:45. That would be announced later on. But in the meantime, with the WhatsApp messages, you can be keeping them coming. Trade is next. Madam, starting off with you, Ghana Shippers Authority. First of all, who are you? For those who do not know.
Ghana Shippers Authority is an agency under the Ministry of Transport, with a sole mandate to promote and protect the interests of the shippers, being importers and exporters. It's mandated to negotiate freight rates, port charges, to represent the views of shippers in relation to the structure of freight rates, port charges, port facilities, negotiate with the shipping lines and enter into agreements with the ship owners, also to make sure that there is adequate shipping space for shippers, exporters, those who want to ship out, that the rates that they are being given are competitive. The authority is also mandated to undertake studies into issues that may be bothering shippers, problems, challenges, and the authority is supposed to create a platform that we can discuss issues with other agencies. That platform is for mutual consultations. So if any organization or agency is coming out with a policy that will have an impact on the shippers, we create the platform for them to have the opportunity to discuss it with the shippers. Mainly, these are the things that we do.
Okay, so when you talk about shippers, who are they?
We are talking about the importers and the exporters.
Okay, so people who import through the ports,
yes,
and those who also export are the ones you do all these jobs on their behalf.
On their behalf.
Okay, so you are linking them with the ship owners and agents.
Yes.
You're also linking them to the other agencies and fighting for them when it comes to rates and charges and all of that.
Yes, and also the facilities and then the quality of service that is given to them.
Okay.
It must be commensurate with the charge that is being administered. So we are very mindful of port facilities. Example, we have today, we have the MPS there. Immediately, we want to see what is being offered by MPS.
Okay.
These are facilities that the shipper is supposed to use in order to either bring the goods home or take the goods outside.
Okay. And how successful have you been at doing this? Because you're talking about having all necessary facilities that will facilitate the work of the shipper.
Yes.
How successful have you been able to work on this line, that we have enough facilities that facilitate trade?
Well, we have been working with all the agencies involved, apart from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
Apart from them?
Yes.
Okay.
We also work with other agencies, such as the Ghana Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs. We also work with exporters. We collaborate with the GPHA, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and other agencies. In fact, ever since our establishment, we've been working with both the private and public sectors to ensure that shippers get their due fare in terms of charges, in terms of services.
Okay, what did you mean by apart from Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority? Is it that you don't?
Well, I said Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority because obviously they are in charge of the ports, and they must present and give facilities that can benefit the shipper.
If that is not being done being done under your expectations, what do you do?
We come and meet with the authorities, the ports, and we do have frequent engagements. We negotiate your tariffs. We sit with you to explain things that we believe that will have a negative impact on the trade. We do meet often, and we do create the platform. We are very mindful of, for example, just about 2 weeks ago, we held a seminar where we invited the ports clearing agents on the issue of the uncleared cargo.
Yeah.
That creates problems, especially with the ministries, departments, and agencies. So it's to educate them and see the way forward as to how best we can move these goods. Because we were aware that some of them have stayed there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and that has an impact on your business as well.
Okay. So how do you interface with the regular importer, exporter? How are they able to reach you? Are they coming into your offices, or you have some centers where they're able to go? For instance, if I'm shipping and I am all the way in one of those transit countries, or I'm up there in the north, how do I interface with the Shippers Authority?
We interface with the shippers on a regular basis. Okay. Those in Accra, they just call at our offices.
Okay.
Those in the regions, let's take, for example, in Takoradi, we have an office over there. So those within the Western region
also use that side.
Use it. Okay. Even in Tema, those around, if you are inside the port and you have issues, you can call our Tema office. You walk in, and we are ready to receive you, to hear of your complaint. We receive it, and straight away we start the investigations. We have what is called the Shipper Complaints and Support Unit.
Okay.
We have them, one at the Kotaka International Airport Cargo Village. Okay. We have one at Aflao. So if anybody is coming from that region, you have the office there.
That's
at the border.
Supposed to be at the border. Okay.
At the border. So immediately, if you have issues with any agency or with your goods, you can call at that office and they can sort you out. Up north, we have an office in Paga, also a Shipper Complaints and Support Unit. You can call on them. Transitors call over there. because we can easily engage whatever problems, we can easily engage the agencies around. In Takoradi, we also have one. At Elubo, we have one. Okay. So even in the regions and at the border entry points, we have our offices there, apart from the main headquarters in Accra and in Tema. Okay. So all in the regions, at the entry points, you can find the Ghana Shippers Authority to put your complaints.
And shippers regularly coming to your offices with all forms of queries and questions and regarding the trade. Is that
yes.
supposed to be it?
Yes. And you can
whichever direction the concern is, you are able to step in, isn't it?
Exactly. Whichever, once it relates to transport and logistics, we are ready to step in. Okay. Once it relates to anything concerning your clearance, whether damage to your goods, whether short landing, whether delays, demurrage, we try to step in to assist. Even sometimes just enquiries. You call on our office and then we are ready to support you with it. So shippers are always welcome at any time. Even you can go to our website. Recently we have created what is called the Shippers app. Yeah. If you have any issue, you can even use the Shippers app.
So you have an application like that's supposed to be downloaded by the shippers?
Yes, you can easily.
So everybody has this, everybody should know this, every Ghanaian who trades has this particular application or can download it easily?
You can easily download it on your phone.
Okay. What's the address though? Because how is it, what's the application about? How do I download it? Go to Play Store, do what?
Yes, if you go to Play Store, you can easily download it for the Android phones, and you can easily download it from one Play Store. Yeah. I don't know if you have.
I have. I will probably find an appropriate time to demonstrate how they can get to you. And I'm taking time to get all of these things from Madam Nana, because already, just as I announced the WhatsApp platform, you have no idea that tons of messages coming about, ship charges and all of that. And yes, people are looking for you and they want to be able to reach you. Nana, GUTA. What's the state of GUTA now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association? For instance, who are you even?
Thank you, Samba. It's nice meeting you once again.
Always under pressure.
Yeah, always. GUTA as a body actually advocate for traders. We are a sector by sector associations across Ghana. Okay. So GUTA as a family is big. And you have all these traders and then across Ghana on board of GUTA.
Okay.
So issues pertaining to trade are mostly our concern. Okay. And anything that is unfair to a trader becomes our issue.
Okay.
So some of the things that is coming up, that what GUTA does is what I've actually.
Okay, it means that you're supposed to be working very hand in hand with Madam's office as well.
Yes.
When your people have issues with charges, where do you turn? You advocate for better charges for them, Madam, just as they do. So where do you turn?
You see, Madam did indicate some of the help they are offering exporters and importers, but to us, I would say it has not gone down to the grounds.
I see. What shippers have been offering you?
Yes, it's as if it's just for the elite or people who are well educated to go through such activities. And if you come
what do you mean by that? If you have a shipper center complaints unit,
I know.
All you need to do is to walk in. Do you have to be elite to walk in?
I know. You see, looking at our trading activities as traders, some of them have issues all day.
Okay.
But will not have the time
to walk into some office.
Yeah, to walk into some office or taking an app.
Downloading.
She's a trader. All she knows is going to China, bring her goods in, and then sell them. So if one way or the other, the container has actually fell and some of the wares has destroyed, They are always been saying farmer nyameten, you know.
I see.
Then they,
we shouldn't be.
We shouldn't be. So what we are advocating now to Shippers Authority is to go down to our local languages.
Oh,
Yes.
you're saying that they haven't been communicating in the local language?
You see, if it actually left with the English aspect of it,
okay,
they won't have all on board. So what we are pleading to them is that they should go down more.
Okay.
Because some of them, for some of the traders, I'm not actually belittling them or something of that sort. They cannot read.
Yeah.
But they really understand.
They know their business.
Yes, they know what they do. So I would advocate that they go more down so that they can also, you know.
Have you benefited, has your association or your members benefited from some of these advocacies and negotiations for better freight rates and all of that Shippers Authority is engaging in?
I would say it hasn't been 100%. It's about 40, 60.
40, 60%?
Yeah. Because you see, any importer.
I know your people are watching
yes.
you, and you saw the messages that
yes.
They are watching you. So if you don't get frank,
yes.
we don't get the answers.
And they know me to be very frank.
Yeah.
You know, every importer is not happy with the charges at the port.
Every importer?
I'm telling you. You see,
what sort of charges aren't they happy with? Can we get specific? Because, we're also looking for how we resolve some of these
If you come to the GPHA, that is GPHA charges, the shipping charges, I think they are too astronomical.
You're talking about GPHA charges?
The charges?
The handling charges?
The handling charges.
That is high?
It's high.
Have you compared with other ports?
You see, when this comparison comes in, then it's as if we don't get anywhere.
You think that regardless of whether our rates are relatively better than neighboring countries, we still should be able to consider our market and bring it down?
That is why trading is going down. Because people are fed up with the system at Tema Port. Some of the traders will walk into my office and start complaining. For government, we think that something should be done to actually make them understand how the system, because all these charges are not explained, they can't explain it. Let's take, for example, I'm bringing a car in, and I'm able to hang some of the car in the container. And GPHA is telling me that because some of the cars are hanged, I should pay for the hanging. Because it's a container I'm paying for.
But the argument is that there's a fellow who will also be releasing this.
Then why am I paying the charges?
Regularly, you would pay for the car being in a container, right? But when the car is seated, the work that is done on it is not the same as when it's being hung up there. And there's a fellow that's being paid to bring your car.
You see, somewhere, if we bring in these technicalities, it is business we are killing. I'm telling you. You see, not all the time that we should be so much specific in some of the things that actually are done at the port.
Okay.
But it's as if time and time by, every day, the authorities are finding way to get money from traders, which is not right.
Madam, what do you make of Nane's frustration? Because that's what I see, and he's leading a very large number of people who control the economy of this country. So if he speaks like this, it's quite worrying, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. But he will also agree with me that the Ghana Shippers Authority does not rest on its oars anytime the issue of charges come up. We collaborate a lot with GUTA, and all their members are on what we call the shipper committees, which are all over the regions. So anytime they call on our offices, we are able to help them. If it's an illegal charge, we immediately go to see whoever. For example, maybe the importer has brought in goods and he thinks that he has been unfairly charged, they come to our office. You can just walk into our office. Whether you can speak English or not, we will help you. So you may come in, maybe you may feel that, okay, I have to speak English. Let them know today. You don't need to speak English before you come to Ghana Shippers Authority.
What is also the approach your people come up with? Do you go to them with that all English posture before you realize that this fellow can't speak English, and then you turn to the language? How are you getting down and rolling up your sleeves and all of that?
We do that. We visit them. We visit their associations. They have the Mokola Cloth Sellers Associations. We go to them. When we are going, we are just wearing our ordinary attire. We don't go speaking English, because even when the people who will greet you, they are speaking English tree already. If we hold a forum at Abosokan, they will tell you even before you start, I had a trio and Cambrofoha. And straight away we speak the tree. We don't waste time in that.
And also, how often do you have?
Madam has actually made my day.
Oh, she has?
Yes, that they're actually communicating in some. It tells you that if you come down to the grounds, it's not all that matters with these technicalities. They
you
understand
to have
that is all. When it comes to complaints and those things, they think the banks are on their neck, trying to recover the loans that we've actually taken. So sometimes it's good that Madam is actually listening.
But how often do you do this, Madam, though? How frequent are you visiting, say, the Makola, or are you visiting the Abosoka or the Swami magazine? How frequent do you do this?
Oh, we do. We try. We meet them, apart from our shipper committees where they also attend. Used clothing, mobile phone dealers, they all attend, apart from the GUTA hierarchy. In fact, the shipper committee actually is headed by GUTA, the former president of GUTA.
Yes, Nana Fori.
Nana Fori, yes. So we engage them frequently. Apart from these shipper committee meetings, we go to them frequently. And so we can easily understand them. Most of the time, maybe we will meet with the executives, and then they can relay whatever issues they have to us. Apart from that, we go to the individual importers. And so we deal with them.
The other thing he raised are the charges, existing charges already. To what extent have you tackled some of them? Because it looks like he's not happy about some charges, particularly with the agencies, and I'm sure that there are other charges as well. Have you received any concerns when it comes to some of these charges, and what actions have you taken regarding
For Ghana Shippers Authority, at the beginning of every year, we try to meet with the agencies that work and their charges do affect our shippers. We negotiate with Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority every year. If they are bringing increases in their tariffs, we quickly meet with them to stem and to negotiate the charges. And then we have it published in the papers. We meet with the freight forwarders as well, those in Tema, those in Takoradi, at the airport, at the roadside, and immediately, if we finish the negotiations, we publish it. So if there's a shipper who has an issue, he can even we put these charges that we have negotiated on our website as well.
Okay.
But he's saying that not all the shippers can go to the website. Fine. Even when you walk into our offices, we can present to you what has been negotiated. And then you know that this man, maybe this service provider is not supposed to charge me more than this. We negotiate it by either the tonnage or by container. For example, if you bring in a 20-footer container, how much are they supposed to charge you? How much is the freight forwarder supposed to charge you? How much are you supposed to pay even for, even if it's rent by GPHA?
Okay.
Or Steve Doreen handling charges.
But do you do this on individual and case-by-case basis, or it's supposed to be a generic negotiation that says that every person that comes, if you're taking out a container from the ports and harbors, this is how much you pay, this is what the shipping lines are, or when somebody comes to complain, this is my special case, then you tackle that one alone, you know, case by case?
No. We do it as a matter of fact and as a matter of a mandate. We need to negotiate the rates. We need to discuss it with the service providers. So we do that across board. I don't have to wait for an importer to come to me to say I have this problem before I will start work on it. No. At the beginning of the year, we've already negotiated the charges, be it with the Ghana ports and harbors, and this reflects even the terminals, because GPHA is supposed to represent the terminals. So we discuss it with GPHA, and then that is published. So we believe that if there's an importer, for example, if GUTA has an issue or a member decides to go to GUTA, GUTA can easily refer to our charges, the published ones, and can say, oh, Yaji was saying, oh, and yes, how Ghana Shippers Authority are publishing whether this and this will match. So the importer doesn't even have to come to our end before he or she will get to know what is there. It's already published, and they can easily refer it. So
published once in the dailies? Or
we publish it in the dailies.
Where else can they find it? Because if you miss that particular, assume that it's published today in the graphic, and then I don't get to see it. In the future, I'm looking for the right charge. How do I get the?
It's also on our website.
Okay.
We make it available.
It means that every trader must know the Shippers Authority website. They must be frequent on it.
They must be frequent on it. It is good. Unfortunately, he's saying that not all of them may have the access to internet
and all of that. Also be literate in it.
But we also have it in small leaflets. Which, if GUTA is mindful, we can give them quite a number to give to their various sectors. And even at our shipper committee meetings, we can have it distributed as well, so they can keep it beside them.
But Nana, have you listed some of these charges you have problems with and approached shippers? Or you have just decided that the port there, Bibia Boye Dinti Meyimeni, you know, what move have you made from your front, the leadership front of the traders?
Someone, Madam will attest that per complaints they receive a year is lesser than the import that is coming in. She can easily attest to that. Because people do not have the time. You see, when a bank is at your neck trying to recover a loan that you've taken from them, and you leave your goods, instead of selling it in the market, go to Shippers Authority.
So what are you saying? They should rather do a door-to-door. They should come
I just want to make it easy so that our traders will understand the work of
Shippers
Authority. You see, all we are saying is, like you said, it should be across board. They should rather be on top of their game, because they know that, you see, Ghanaians are so reserved.
So they should move to them.
Yes.
The shipper centers. Can you have some in those stations, the Makola, the KJTI, in those places?
You mean offices in those
areas instead of your big building in
they are so
in the city center?
I was just waiting for you to say that.
Even if they are so interested, Greater Accra office can give them a desk over there for them to operate.
GUTA.
Yes, at
GUTA's level. So I think you can liaise properly.
Yes.
Give them offices in almost all your areas you want, so that it can be easy.
Most times when the traders are coming to us, they want to. Well, if you come to our office, for instance, we have GSA there, we have GRA there, and if we can also
GSA.
Yes.
You mean Standards Authority?
Ghana Standards Authority. Yeah. So if we can as well have Ghana Shippers.
How feasible is this, madam?
It shouldn't be. No, it's not an issue at all.
Yeah.
How quickly can you move towards something like this?
Well, it depends how quickly they can give us
after
space.
the program, I will liaise with them.
Okay.
So that,
because I think that it's very important that people are able to get in touch with them.
Education,
Education.
Yeah.
I see. But I'm still sorry, madam.
No, I was just going to say that we visit the various trade associations. We the used clothing. Recently, we're with them, and we've taken on their complaints. Yes, and we are going to work on that.
Okay.
For example, they will tell us, we want to understand more about this issue that is happening. immediately we can have a small meeting with them and explain it. But if they want us to be at the GUTA office, if they can give us one desk, one table,
you don't have problem
chair.
at all. We will work on it.
Yes.
Because, you know, if our people are well educated in matters concerning them, I think you can also sleep when you go to the house.
Yeah, but let me come back to you again, Nana. Have you enumerated your challenges and concerns and approached Shippers Authority that, look, these are the list of items that we feel that is too much? Can you talk to these agencies on our behalf? Have you done that?
You know, Sammy, you heard from her that it is always negotiable before these figures comes out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I don't know whether our input are sometimes also important when they are negotiating.
Why not? You are the one. You are the ones using the facilities. You are the ones.
Because currently, as I speak, not a single trader is happy with the charges at Temaport.
And you haven't told anybody.
Because
you are only unhappy and sitting back.
See, I've had series of meetings with our finance ministry, and they will tell you that we need money. And because they need money, traders are at the lock here.
Okay. And when you were told that, and you are saying that you were told that from the finance ministry.
We keep on telling them that any economy that is built from revenue at the port always find the deficiencies.
So who have you been complaining to? The finance ministry?
We've been meeting a lot with the finance ministry, telling them the way forward as to how trading can actually boost up in the country. Import can come in, export can go out. But it's as if they stick to the books. If you come to Makola, there is no book there. They have Makola economy that can actually, you know, tells you a lot the happenings in the country.
But maybe you are fighting alone. Have you complained to the shippers and for them to also back you in explaining to the policymakers?
We've done formal complaints, but I think putting it on paper is where the issues are. I think from here we also take advices, you know, from anywhere that we sit, and then we can take it up.
Because if you have issues with, and I'm getting a lot of concerns on shipping charges and all of that, and nobody has approached them. They assume that whatever they negotiated and published, you are comfortable with them.
Yes, that is the issue here. That is the issue. That's why.
And in fact, that's the impression you have created.
Yes.
Understanding you now.
Yes.
That.
So I think from today's program, I think we need to liaise with them and then find out, because we need to also propose something how much we can also pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be making inputs.
Yes. Yes.
But shippers, your negotiations, your discussions and consultations before you pitch some of these fees and charges, how wide are they? Do you engage them, for instance? Do you engage SOAG, the Ship Owners and Agents Association? How wide do you consult before you pitch fees and charges?
Before we meet with the various stakeholders who are coming out with their charges, especially at the port, we meet with our shipper committee members, and that committee is actually made up of all the trade associations and other agencies, the small, the medium, and the large. We engage them on regular basis, and we hear what they have to say. You know, in fact, sometimes they bring information because maybe they have gone to the port and they are clearing goods and they are facing some challenges. They bring us information. So we meet with them, we discuss the issues before we even set out to engage any of the agencies.
Okay. You are reminded that you can join this conversation via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line that you can send us a message on is 020-866-3161. And then after our second break, we'll also pick your phone call. 020-55-28353 is the phone line that you can call. WhatsApp 020-866-3161. And this one says, my issues are with the exorbitant amount the shipping lines take from us. And it's not the same around West African sub-region. What is the Shipping Council, or the Shippers Authority now, they are no longer Shippers Council, doing about it? Because the previous government started but couldn't succeed.
If I may ask, what is the government and council, the authority, doing about it now? Thank you. This is Joe Nyame from Takoradi, madam. The shipping lines, according to him, are charging exorbitantly, and to him it's not the same across the region.
Thank you. This issue keeps coming up because...
And is it true?
It is true.
That our charges are way higher than compared to the other ports in the regions?
I believe they are referring to nearby, nearby ports.
Yeah.
Nearby ports like Lomé,
Togo, Abidjan, and all of that.
Benin. You realize that some of them vary, and even the kind of charges that the shipping lines do charge is different from one line to the other, from one shipping company to the other.
I see.
Yes, that it has been an issue.
Why
with
is
the
that?
shippers.
We have to have a uniform.
Yes.
Why should one shipping line charge so hugely different? And there's another one that has sent something here. It says MSC charges way higher than everyone else. Why is that? Why are they in control of themselves? Nobody's checking them. Who checks them?
Ghana Shippers Authority is supposed to
check them. And you are not?
No, they are supposed to inform us anytime they want to come out with new charges that we believe that they are different from what is existing. So we are supposed to negotiate that with them. It's a thorny issue.
But
at the moment.
Sorry, madam. These are not new charges. From what they are saying, these are existing charges that are exorbitant. So we've known of the exorbitant charges for a longer period, and yet no intervention. They are not new charges that are being introduced.
Yes, that's it. That is true. The Ghana Shippers Authority has, from the very onset, tried to sit down with the shipping lines to negotiate their charges. In fact, per our mandate, we are supposed to negotiate the freight rates and any other charges here in Accra, Ghana, I should say. We are even supposed to negotiate for even shipping space on their vessels, the slots and all that. It's a very thorny issue. We've had difficulty in sitting down with the shipping lines to do that.
Why? They're refusing to listen to you?
Exactly.
Why?
They
operate under your laws, under your country. And why should they refuse?
It is. I wouldn't say that they are operating under us per se, because they are in business.
I mean, under the country.
Oh, okay.
Under the country laws,
they enter your waters.
Yes, I mean,
you know, to do business.
So you must have to be able to
the pace
for them.
Yeah.
Yes. And outside that, in 2014, 2015, when we had our LI 2190, we met with them to sit down to look at all of these charges that they are bringing: administrative charge, container cleaning fee, and a whole host of charges. So it was unfortunately, how should I say it, a deadlock.
I see.
Yes.
Why?
It was difficult.
Why?
The ministry came in.
Which ministry? Finance?
Transport.
Okay.
Our Ministry of Transport. And up to today, we've had to have an MOU, we call it Memorandum of Understanding, as to the fact that anytime there's a new fee coming out, they should inform us so that we can also meet with our people to discuss it. The issue with the shipping lines, and it's unfortunate that we don't have
their rep here.
Yeah.
Yes, because it has been one of the thorniest issues for the Ghana Shippers Authority, that the shipping lines do not want to sit and talk about their charges.
I see.
Yes.
And you have allowed them to move on? Who do you complain to if they don't listen to you? Your transport ministry.
And I do recollect that in the years that we were having these issues with them, the Ministry of Transport was very much involved in it.
Yet they didn't listen.
And we finally had to sign an MOU with them to say that before you come out with any charge, you need to let the Ghana Shippers Authority know about it.
I think what is my concern, and I would still want Nana,
someone.
Let me chip in this. Maybe it would help you too.
Okay.
I am struggling to understand that we'll have our own country, and then we have ministries enforcing some particular policies and all of that. And then you say that shipping lines are supposed to operate along this line. Some shipping lines decide to obey and are going by the pricing rates and all of that. Others choose not to do that. And we don't seem to know who will deal with that.
Someone, you know, when some of these ministers are appointed, I think they don't know their job descriptions.
What do you mean?
It's very broad, but
but this is not going to a minister. We are talking about a systemic.
No, you have yeah, they are swao. You see the Jawa, yeah, they are swao. You have to work on it, hand in hand with Shippers Authority, because you have the law by your side. It is our waters that they are operating from. Let me pick something where Madam actually, you see, they are charging container cleaning fee. You have already charged me with the freight. I have the goods in China. You want to bring it to Ghana for me. You said you take $2,800 per 20-feet container. I have paid you. Bring my goods to Ghana. Then you turn around. You see, they are using all these technical knockouts against the trader because the system allowed them to do so. If they are finding out that government is solely depending on imports and revenue to build, definitely they also chip in with technicalities and then
to make money.
This is where government should sit down and look into this. Make sure Ghana Shippers Authority is well empowered to bring such companies to book.
Yeah.
Make sure.
You agree, madam?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Make sure that they are in line with the laws. It's the same with GIPC Act 865 Section 27.
The investment promotion.
The investment. You have enacted this law and you are saying you have folded your hands, you don't do anything about it. It's the same thing here. Why should a country, you know, develop in such a manner?
Madam, aside the transport ministry, who else is the finance ministry aware of this as well? Are they aware that we've got shipping lines that are charging exorbitantly that has rippling effect on the entire economy, yet nobody is controlling them?
No, I wouldn't say that because we haven't gone, no, we don't.
To that extent, you haven't gone beyond your ministry to their ministry. But you don't think that, and this is finance, you don't think that they should be interested in some of these charges as well?
They should.
Maybe they should.
And it's about time, you don't agree?
Yeah.
It's about
the minister, we know that sooner than later will be here to answer some of these things. And I think that we hope to get some responses coming out of this. The messages keep coming. This one says, please, when is the Ghana Shippers Authority ever going to publish the fees and charges of shipping lines? Have you published already?
We publish, you mean the shipping lines?
Yes.
The charges.
The charges.
The shipping line charges, that's what this means.
The shipping line charges, no.
You don't publish them?
We publish anything that we have negotiated. So, for example, this year we've already come out with those that we have negotiated.
Does it include all shipping line charges?
No, no, not these ones, because we haven't really sat down with them to finalize anything in particular. So this year, if you are looking for their charges, it may be those of the former ones, but we haven't sat down with them to do. But it is part of our lesson to do so, because we have to.
Okay, so it means that you have to be publishing the shipping line charges, but we haven't been doing that.
We do that anytime we've had it. For example, as I explained, that right now it's an MOU. So anytime they are coming out with a new...
That is when you publish it?
Yes.
But the existing one, you don't publish it?
The existing one is there, except maybe if there is a new one that is coming, which we may not be aware.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This one says, does Ghana Shippers Authority contact other shipper agencies in other countries to compare their charges? Do you do that?
Do we do what?
You compare charges with other countries?
Other countries. I would say that we have what we call the Union of African Shippers Councils, where we have the other shippers authorities. For example, the Nigerian Shippers Council, we have Togo Shippers Council, we have the Benin Shippers Council around over here, where we meet often and we compare tariffs and surcharges.
Okay. I'm going to go for a break. When I come back, we'll deal with some of the questions that have come in, quite a number. They're just flowing like that. And I'm also told that people are waiting to call. Return after the break.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Welcome back from the break. We're talking trade and we're talking the ports. We're talking about fees and charges. We're talking about activities around the port industry. And my guest, Nadisia Ayite, is the head of shipper services and trade facilitation at the Ghana Shippers Authority. Also, Nana Poku is the Greater Accra Regional Secretary for the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Ladies and gentlemen, before we went on break, we were talking about some of the comments that have come in through. And it's interesting because almost everybody has an issue when it comes to the pricing. One says, why are shipping lines charging security fees and the Port Authority is also charging same? Who is really providing security for our containers at the port? Madam.
I think security at the port is mainly provided by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
So why are shipping lines charging security fees? And nobody's taking them on.
It's a big surprise. But then we, apart from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, we believe is the one responsible, we also have the Ghana Maritime Authority that polices the waters and is supposed to provide some form of security as well. So they do also charge the
security fees.
Yes.
So
I think that is one thing that the shipping lines try to, pass it off to the shippers.
But why? Because if the ports and harbors provide security, and you are saying the GMA, Ghana Maritime Authority, also provides security, and they take charges, don't they? These two agencies, do they take charges? Do they take fees for security?
Ghana Maritime Authority does charge.
And then the ports...
and I think your ports also You do charge.
Yes. Okay. So why then will the shipping lines also charge for security?
They pass it on. You see, the Ghana Maritime Authority charges the vessel.
Okay.
For services it renders in the waters.
Okay.
Policing the waters.
Okay.
And providing services for the vessel.
Okay.
So the vessel docks here, whatever they pay, the shipping lines pay, they pass it on to the shipper.
Okay.
Yes.
So it means that GMA is not collecting directly from the shipper?
No.
Okay. They collect rather from the shipping lines?
From the shipping lines.
And then the shipping lines will in turn pass it on to the shipper?
Because they want to collect their money back.
Okay. Is the Ports and Harbours Authority collecting directly from the shipper?
I wouldn't know that they charge them, because normally what the port charges the shipper is the handling charge and rent.
Okay.
If the person has overstayed.
So is it the case?
So these are the ones that I don't see GPHA charging security so far.
Okay. So is it the case that the agencies are taking from the shipping lines, and then the shipping lines are now passing it on to the shipper?
Exactly.
It's possible that's the case.
That is it.
Okay, so we'll make that inquiry and then be able to resolve that particular area for you. This one says, the shipping lines do what they please here in Ghana. Ghana Shippers Authority is a body mandated to regulate and publish their fees and charges, yet they have never done that. The shipping lines disregard the Bank of Ghana exchange rate and quote their own rate every week. Is that true?
That is true. You know,
Madam,
that is very true. I think.
Does anybody regulate the rates from the shipping lines, or is it because they are multinational companies? They are just open to.
They are supposed to
play
respect
with the market.
They are supposed to respect what comes out every week from the Bank of Ghana, and at some point, we have even said that it can be pegged. The rates can be pegged at a certain point so that traders know that this is the rate at this particular time. So if in the month of July, we know that the rate is at 4 point or 5.2, 5.3, it's pegged. Customs is another agency that uses it a lot, yes.
And they use the Bank of Ghana
They
exchange
use the
rates.
Bank of Ghana exchange rate. But you find the shipping lines using
their own rates.
It's a problem.
Nana, to back you, he has added that when government is seeking, he says, when government is seeking to regulate the currencies in the country, they say that every dollar is supposed to be 4.0. Yet you go into the shipping lines and somebody is charging 6.2, and we are looking on. Are we serious? That's the question.
Samuel, these multinational shipping companies have tested our system. And
that it's porous.
Yes, and they know that there are so many holes in so many areas. Our people who are supposed to stand firm with them easily compromise. So at the end of the day, who is going to fight on behalf of traders or importers? Look at the way they are using all manner of technicalities, even to outwit Ghana Shippers authorities. Because not all the time that they are aware of their activities in terms of charging. But we have people that have been mandated to make sure our ports are well and well prepared for business. Trade facilitation doesn't actually lie, within a few. It has to be very, 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 very open to some of the sectors that are easily or directly concerned. It's quite unfortunate. You could see the deficiencies.
But, Madam, these things, have you also enumerated all these things and passed it on to the Transport Ministry?
Yes.
You have?
We have.
But why?
We have. And we've had.
What feedback have you had?
We've even invited the ministry has taken the opportunity to invite the shipping lines together with us, the Ghana Shippers Authority. We have had to sit down over this. We have discussed this in full. I mean, for a period of time.
Okay.
Until at the end of these discussions, it was decided that we should enter into a memorandum of understanding with them that they should respect that any time, as I mentioned earlier, it's not that the Ghana Shippers Authority has not done anything concerning this. Number of times we've had to. We still do engage them anytime we hear about some of these things.
I'll be asking you whether your authority really needs some more authority.
Oh yes,
and I'll be coming to that shortly. But in the meantime, Sadiq is calling us from Kotobabi. So. Sadiq, if you're on the line, we can also hear you.
Yeah, I'm still on the line.
Yes, please, your submission. Hello, Sadiq.
Yeah, I'm here. My question is for trade facilitation.
Sorry, can we hear Sadiq? Sadiq.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, we're having difficulties hearing Sadiq. Can we fix that quickly? And so that we can hear him.
Yeah,
let's move on. Madam, this one says that
my question is,
the shipping lines have charges such as empty container fee. How on earth do you change an importer who has taken their goods, or do you charge, I'm sure he wants to say, an importer who has taken their goods out of a container, empty container fees? The Ghana Shippers Authority, shine your eyes. Your eyes are not shining enough, according to them.
They have a lot of charges.
Okay.
Different
and you can't do anything at the moment, is it?
It's different from every shipping line.
From every destination. Yeah, let me put it that way. If it is coming from America, it's a different ball game altogether. If it's coming from China, it's a different ball game.
But can't we regulate it? Can we have a standard so that we know that everyone coming and we set the rules for them?
I will employ the sector minister, Honorable Esiama, to hear this program, and then start doing something about it. Ghana Shippers Authority must be empowered. If they can solely actually stand on behalf of the importer, or the trader,
the trader,
they should be well empowered.
Yes.
And at the moment they are not. It looks like from what Madam is saying.
Well,
so nobody is really.
We need
cracking the whip.
Yes,
nobody is cracking it. Let me pick Sadiq. I'm told that Sadiq is on the line, and I hope that I'm going to get the feed now. My techies. Okay, so Sadiq, go ahead and speak, please.
This is a suggestion.
I still have difficulty hearing Sadiq. If we can't fix that, let's fix that before we get him back on, please. Yes, madam, go ahead.
I'm saying that we need, both of you have said that the Ghana Shippers Authority needs to be empowered. That is a fact. We need to look at the law again. The law came out as far back as 1974.
Wow.
NRCD.
It's sad. Sometimes, like they always say, we have all the laws and we've always had the laws years back.
Years back.
Yet, people go around it and still things are done.
Yeah, things have changed.
Because, madam, let me find out from you. It appears that if you take the Ports and Harbours Authority, for instance, their pricing, their fees and all of that are regulated. Before they put out a tariff, you come in, they engage, and then you conclude an tariff.
Yes.
If you take, and that applies to the terminals.
Yes.
However,
as for the pricing, we are not involved.
GUTA.
Yes.
Why are you missing in action?
Right.
No, we are missing in action because
nobody has been inviting you before it comes out. And you should have been protesting. You should be one of the things.
We are using your medium now to alert the authorities that if they keep on excluding us in decision making that borders traders and importers,
you should be involved.
We should be involved.
Let me get Richard from where? Hello, Richard. Richard from Enyinem. Hello, Richard. Yes, go ahead, please. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead. Kindly go ahead, Richard.
we need jobs. And it's time for them to do something about it. And
okay. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. Okay, I think we've lost him. Can we get pick Sadiq? Is Sadiq on? Sadiq? He's been on for quite some time now. Okay. Otherwise, let's go ahead. Nana, you were making a submission before.
Like I said, Honorable Esiama should up his game because you could see the deficiency that hover around Ghana Shippers Authority. It's as if they cannot bite enough. The job before them is very huge.
But have they complained? Shippers, have you complained that you are not able to tell or crack the whip, tell the shipping lines that, look, these are the, or even tell government that these are the infractions we've noticed, but we can't deal with them? Yes. So that a higher authority probably will step in and back you up.
In actual fact, the review of our law is one of our major step that we would like to undertake, because a whole lot of things in this dynamic shipping industry has occurred. Developments that affect the work of the authority. It's not that the authority is not aware of some of these things, but we also realize that the very law that we can step on limits us. So we are looking at having a review of this law. Like I said, the law is 45 years old. It was established as far back as 1974 under the NRCD.
When shipping wasn't as dynamic as now.
Shipping was not as huge as this. Today, if you enter the port, it's a totally different game. And so, and not only that, Ghana Shippers Authority is not just dealing with shippers. When we are dealing with importers, but deals with exporters in their transport logistics chain. And we need to look at all of the ramifications, even at the airport, those who air freight the cargo, you understand, and even the logistics with it. So we need actually, as all of you have been saying, we need to have the law that can bite. That needs to be reviewed.
But you see, my challenge is that, Madam, as you know, before we even get the laws changed and probably amended to suit and give you all the necessary authority. Now, the government is looking for money real bad, and Nana alluded to that earlier. They are looking for money, and they are looking for means to also ensure trade facilitation.
Exactly.
They want to set examples. In May, we had all this paperless and everything coming in place and all of that. And revenue moves are also being made in that direction. We have issues at hand that is not making the traders feel the impact of proper trade in the country. If we say we want to wait for all these parliament to get back to some of the laws and review them before we would be looking at 5-6 years from now. Who should take action and what time? When do we need action?
We need the action now.
These issues.
We need the action now.
Because people have mandates to take action, don't they?
We need the action now. We need the support of our ministry to help us to embark on some of these things, to ensure that we can penalize when people flout the rules.
Have you marched to the minister's office and said, look, we need this now? Because it's urgent. Because he also reports to the president. He reports to the economic management team. Then he will know that, look, my people are on my neck, and if I don't act now, it will go against me and my record.
Definitely.
Have you moved towards that direction? Have you placed pressure on him or the ministry?
I wouldn't say we have placed pressure on him, but we have made it that we would like to have, no, they are all aware of our shortcomings.
You don't think it's a matter of urgency that some pressure is mounted?
I believe that it's urgent.
Let me pick Emmanuel and then we'll come back to that one. Emmanuel is calling from Temaima. Hello, Emmanuel. Madam, let me just find out from you. Somebody says the president's vision of reducing the cost of doing business in Ghana, thereby slashing duties by as much as 50%, will never be achieved if the shipping lines continue to trade with impunity. Ghana Shippers Authority, I'm saying to you again, shine your eyes before we call on the forwarders and GUTA to help us out of this mess. I was going to ask you that, Nana. I think it's about 2 months ago that we had the reduction in general goods by 50%, and then also the HDV of cars by 30%. How has that impacted in trade on the ground?
For the impact, I would say it has not been that 100%.
Okay, let me pick Joe from Tema and then I'll come back to you. Joe, so go ahead and speak, please.
Okay, I was about asking, the shipping line, I don't think they work on Saturdays, but they do charge in process of Saturdays.
Okay. The shipping lines, that reminds me, I think I should even read it, because there was a message from one Emmanuel Addo from Meridian Port Services. He just sent a message that, and I know that the entire ports, the terminals, GPHA and MPS, they all work on weekends, 24/7. And the shipping lines, do they work on 24/7?
They don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't even
but they are
work,
charging.
They don't even work on Saturday and Sunday.
No, they don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, but they do charge them for.
They charge us.
It's getting interesting. But why will somebody charge for services unrendered, madam?
If you keep their container out beyond the period they have given you, maybe you would like to return the container on a Saturday, but they are not working. So you keep the container until the Monday.
Madam, let me interject you. It's not that. Maybe my container is in, all right? After the 7-day period given me by GPHA, all right? And if there are weekends in it, they charge it when you are going to pay the shipping line. Let's say you have 21 days to clear your container.
Yeah.
All the Sundays within that 21 days
can be added.
Yeah, they add it to it. You will pay.
For demurrages?
Yes. No, not demurrages.
Let me pick Emmanuel, another Emmanuel from Tema. Ima? Hello? Okay, please go ahead.
Not demurrages. They charge Sunday and Saturday till you pick your container from the port. Yet they are not working on Saturday and Sunday.
So when your goods come in, okay, it depends on the kind of agreement you may have with the shipping line. Maybe the shipping line may give you 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days.
Yeah.
So during that period, you are supposed to pick your container and return the container within these periods. If it's 7 days they gave you and you didn't pick it up during that 7 days, it means your demurrage starts counting from the 8th day. If they gave you 14, it starts counting on the 15th. Okay. If they gave you 21, it starts counting after that. Okay. You know, so that is when.
And that includes weekends.
That includes weekends.
Why? When you yourself don't work on weekends.
Exactly.
And it's a problem because all the other terminals are working 24 hours, 7 days in a week. And customs now says they are doing same. They are working 24 hours and 7 days a week. As a matter of fact, one of the terminals put on, has just sent a message that, you know, they are working 24/7, and so it's better for all the freight forwarders come in and clear your goods, particularly on Saturdays and Sundays, and in the evenings when it's not too busy, so that by the next day your things are cleared. You don't have to say that it's Saturday, it's Sunday, so I can't clear your car for you. Now the terminals are working Saturdays and Sundays, and make sure that you come in and clear on time. That's what they are saying. And they expect that the shipping line should also be following suit.
So they should.
Yes.
They should.
Yes, they are the ones charging and they are not working.
They are not. They are the ones charging. They are not working.
And nobody is saying anything.
Sammy, these infractions actually let traders clear their goods from Burkina Faso, Togo, and somehow Benin. Ghanaian traders were clearing from there.
I see. Let me pick Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I'm told, is back on the line. Is he on the line? Okay, good. Emmanuel, go ahead. Okay. 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 I think point is well made, Emmanuel. Thank you. Let me read the message from Emmanuel Ado. He says, he's a operations manager for Meridian Port Services. Okay. He says, please, can you use your platform to advise all freight forwarders on the following? Effective tomorrow, this applies to red and yellow abnormal containers. And that is 1, after scan, truck would have to park at the inspection platform holding parking area. And 2, only after the arrival of the freight forwarder would a bay be allocated on a first come first to be allocated basis. 3, after examination, the truck would be directed back to the holding area, parking area awaiting release. And 4, after release, truck would have to immediately leave the terminal. 5, do not abandon your truck at the inspection platform or the parking area. If it is abused, then charges would be applied on abandoned trucks. 6, it says they need your assistance to serve you better. So comply with all these things and they can serve you better. That came from the operations manager, MPS. Ohima from Tema, if you're on the line, good evening and thanks for joining us. Yes, we're on, Ohima. We can hear you, Ohima. Please go ahead. What time do they close? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Madam.
Yeah, these are
so
issues.
That's also a concern.
Yes, it is.
What is Shippers Authority doing about this? Have you approached the shipping lines on this
We've
matter?
had several discussions with
and they are not listening. So it's like you can come and talk about Yenti. No, but that's worrying, Nana. Is it not?
That is. I mean, that is why sometimes I'm so much worried about the legislature, the legislature, community or the group that we have in the country. You see, you have to go to Parliament and discuss issues like this. Issues that will boost the economy of the country.
Is it the case that they are not aware?
Maybe. Institutions that are connected with development. You see, Shippers Authority is one area that government should really take its time and then help. Anything that
they should be receiving briefs from them regularly and addressing them briefs.
Yes, because look at, if you take all the what Madam have actually put on the table, you could see that Shippers Authority is just there as the name.
Yeah.
They can't do anything to help the situation.
They will only come and talk to you and nobody will listen to them.
That's it. But if they are with power, and when they are coming, I tell you, there are women there. The madam, she is a very strong woman.
Yeah.
She can really bite. And, she has Ghana at heart. Yeah. If you are speaking with her, the way...
Yeah.
But she doesn't have the power behind her.
She doesn't have the power behind her.
And why are you not getting the power? Have you, for instance, also, aside the ministry itself, have you engaged the parliamentary select committees where you fall under?
Yes, we do. Not too long ago this year, natural fact, as he just said, the chief executive has met with the parliamentary select committee and they have said that they will support us.
But the support is not coming.
No,
they are sleeping.
They're not sleeping.
Daniel is calling from Lugwa. Let me pick up. If the Parliamentary Select Committee that handles the ministry, if you are aware of all of these things and you haven't taken action and still engaging committee meetings, yes,
I just wanted to say that this is one issue that is on the heart of the management of Ghana Shippers Authority.
Which one? Which issue you mean?
I mean the fact that the law that we have does not seem to give us
enough power,
enough to actually work with the shipping lines and to say that if we have negotiated these things with you, you are supposed to abide by them. He mentioned the fact that a Parliamentary Select Committee, yes, they have given us their support that if the law will be reviewed in order for us, because it's 45 years old, I'm saying it is not that it is not relevant, but it doesn't have what it takes for the present.
But at
and
the moment,
the
we have an urgent situation at hand. Should the Parliamentary Select Committee or the ministry or any other statutory body that's empowering you wait for a law to be amended before they can act on something that is so illegitimate for charging fees of services that you are not rendering?
As I mentioned before, I believe that we can do something. You see, there's a law, our ally, that provides us the leeway. If we can get them to support us to push it through, instead of having a memorandum of understanding, because we do have an ally that spells out clearly what we are supposed to do.
Madam, let me pick Godwin from Tema, and let me also announce that quite a number of you are calling the WhatsApp line. Like I said again, and I noticed they are calling. Quite a number of you are also calling from outside the country. I know how expensive it is calling the regular line, but the WhatsApp line are not supposed to be used for the calls. Please, you can send a message. If you don't want to send a message, please call on the line. Godwin, calling from Tema.
I want to know what I can do.
Okay, thank you. So that's Godwin calling from Tema. This one says, Same, all these things the shipping lines are doing and charging here doesn't happen in Nigeria. You dare not. So you go to China with Nigerian traders and our goods get to both markets. Nigerians sell 40 to 50% less than Ghanaian markets, and that is a fact. Is that true?
Sammy, you've charged me that you are bringing my goods from Guangzhou. You've taken $2,800 from me for the container being used. I think that ends it. All I need to have is my goods. Because you've already charged the freight. Let me come back with the question you asked about the 50% the government actually came up with. It's not 100% working. It's working for cars. That one, 100% there.
Okay. But all the cars have been reduced by 10%.
When it comes to general goods, you see, I don't really understand the system. But the current policy maker is killing trading.
Who do you mean, government?
I'm telling you.
Why would you say that? And with all these fine measures, you don't expect that?
Most traders are folding up because of their some of the things they are bringing on board.
Is it because of the case that the implementation is problematic? Because the policies
when you go
bad,
to SEPS right now, the 50%, the system, the new system they are using, sometimes you could have your tariff go up or comes down.
Let me pin you small and pick Pa. Pa is calling from Temapa. Yes, go ahead. Yes, and speak, please. Hello, Pa. Yes, good evening.
and so many resources.
I see.
Their rates are so high, we've spoken about it so many times, and nothing has been done about it.
Okay. Thank you, Pa. Winfred from Afienya says his problem is why the shipping lines exchange rate is different from the authorized zones. Now, one of the responses I got when I asked this question, I think some time from some of the policymakers, was that it's an open market, and so you have options to choose other lines instead of going for the line that has a higher price, so that is using a higher exchange rate. And because they are multinationals, they base their rates on a lot of things. Whether we can't do any regulation on this is what I don't understand, because I'm not sure that you can just step into China.
If we have proper legislation on it,
we should have a cap.
They can't do it.
Because somebody, you can't have your Bank of Ghana exchanging at 4.0, and somebody decides that I'll do 6.0, and you say because it's a free market, they can just go ahead.
These are the areas that
yes.
It's not helping us.
Let me pick. Mama Blessing is calling from Kwabenya. Hello, Mama Blessing.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Mama Blessing, you can go ahead and speak, please.
Okay. What I want to say is that...
Oh, I know this woman.
Yeah.
Mama Blessing.
Okay.
Because and then when the container is here, then we declare they are planning to produce. The shipping lines will take more than 3,000 dollars to destroy one container. Which is very easy. Because we have already taken it.
It's too much. It's too much.
I see. Thank you, Mama Blessing.
Those cards, we created the same last year. And last year, one card became 17,000. This year, we paid 24,000.
Are you sure it's the same car? Okay, Mama Blessing. This one, I'm going to urge you, Mama Blessing, I'm going to urge you to come to the port of Tema. Okay, so let me urge you to come to the port of Tema. Tomorrow is Monday. We will assist you go to the customs and find out if indeed what you are saying is supposed to be the case, because as you heard from the GUTA General Secretary, and not just from him, quite a number of people have attested that indeed 30% of the HDV is actually off, and people are enjoying it, so you should be able to enjoy it. Come tomorrow to the port and we'll assist you, please. Okay? Okay, good. So everything is about the charges, and why we are not doing. GPHA from Tema says the government claims issues at the ports are being solved, but it's getting worse each day. I think government should sit down with all stakeholders and find some resolutions to all the problem. This one says, please kindly take this program to the Ministry of Parliament yourself. It's clear that your resource persons are totally handicapped when it comes to shipping matters. Raf from Takoradi. This one says, hi, good evening. Backing what Ohima from Tema said, Maersk Line after 3 p.m. will not get any release done, but will accept payment after 3 p.m. How do you take... So you are not releasing, but you are collecting. How do you take my money at a time you can't give me release? The Shippers Authority should really sit up. Same, God bless the entire team. I am Michael from Mataheko. This one says, good evening, Sam. We do not need Ghana Shippers Authority at all. If these are their challenges, if they feel that we need them, then we need more powers from them. Okay, so thanks very much for reading my message. Why are shipping lines charging security fees? That has been read already, please. And then this one says, demurrage charges are sometimes more than the duty paid. This is coming from Kofi. The shipping lines charge administration fees at the port of shipment and also charge local admin charges. This is not done anywhere in the world. Is it done somewhere, madam?
No, that I know of.
Demurrage charges are actually higher than duty paid sometimes.
They are taking advantage of the trade.
It can be if you continue to keep it there, because as the days pass, they increase the amount that they charge. So if for the first week it's $20 per day, the second week it may go to $30.
I see.
And then the third time, so it increases the more you keep it there.
MSC charges are far higher as compared to the other shipping lines. Also, GUTA chairman raised an issue on huge charges on a hanged vehicle. Takrade, for instance, the charges or the changes is the charges, I'm sure you want to say, is around 1,600 Ghana cedis. He is Emmanuel from Essex Newtown. So quite a number of the messages, if I want to go on and on, but we need to address some of these things, because for us, we are looking for solutions. Now we have concluded and all admitted that Shippers Authority, for instance, would need a lot more power to be more authoritative. How do we get this authority to you, madam? Are we supposed to fold arms and wait for Parliament to amend laws, which may take long?
I would like to say that we already have an ally that gives us the mandate to do the, I mentioned
gives you the power.
Our ally 2190 that spells out exactly what we should do and which we are doing. That we will meet every end of year to meet with the shipping lines, the freight forwarders, and other service providers like GPHA. We do that with GPHA, we do that with the freight forwarders. Our difficulty has been with the shipping line. And it is not that there is no law that backs us, but these ones have been the headache, the shipping lines.
I see. So for the other agencies, you don't have a problem that much?
We
just the shipping lines? Because they are brofo? Oh?
That is where the problem is.
They are multinationals and they bully you with a lot of foreign
and that's
regulations
where we
and all
need
of
the
that.
support, like you said, apart from our ministry, the Parliamentary Select Committee as well. In times past, we've had to engage them, all of them. We engaged not this particular parliament, but the previous one. We have had engaged them. They were part of the discussions throughout until it simmered to an MOU. You know, but we need to pick it up again. We need to pick up because now it's becoming too much.
Yeah.
And right now, the Ghana Shippers Authority needs to be empowered to move with this because the charges from the shipping lines are just way out.
Yeah.
And we cannot go again with just this MOU.
Yeah.
We must move.
You see, they found the country so loose to the level that
they are found like a loser or we are loose.
That is it. They feel like doing anything. Because if they are to talk to our people, they have a way of doing it. And it is very simple.
What? How?
Oh, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. You see, but at the end of the day, it's the people who are suffering. The traders. You see, trading has gone down considerably since from last year to date.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you.
You have figures to prove that?
You see, very soon we'll come out with our figures.
Yeah.
You see, they are not meeting their targets.
I think it's long overdue. You should be updating us annually.
You see, they are not.
Give us the trading figures, numbers. Let us know how was trading 2016, how was trading 2017. We should be getting.
You go to GRA right now. The port target they've set for themselves, they are not meeting it.
Because the traders are not going.
Because the traders are not going. If he or she will enter into this trading activity, and at the end of the day, her house or his house is being sold by a bank. Why?
But you see, these were the same challenges. And I recall I watched the Vice President live when, as a matter of fact, I was even there, when he said that this is why they were reducing some of these charges. Why is it that in spite of all of that effort, we still are here?
You know, for them, they don't understand the issues.
For who?
Yeah. From the presidency down to some levels, they do not understand the issues.
What issue is there to understand that they don't understand?
You see,
how is that difficult?
They will go by the paper. And businesses in the country are done in a way which some of them really understand how we do business in Ghana. It's not per their calculations as they've been doing.
So you think that when it was done, 50% of reduction in general goods, 30% of AGDs on cars, didn't necessarily mean that we're going to have...
The benchmark values supposed to be at the level where, that we left. Now the benchmark they are using is the previous one.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
Previous one.
Well,
I thought benchmark.
You know, we used to have the benchmarks. They scale it down to the level where we were comfortable with it a little bit. Now that the 50%, when the 50% came in, they went back
to the previous benchmark value. I thought it was the existing benchmark value that was slashed.
No, they will argue with me, but that is what they are using.
But you have papers, you have samples to indicate that these were previous values that are being worked on now.
When you come to second-hand clothing and second-hand shoes, we had to go in and negotiate a special rate for them. Yeah. I was part of the team that did the job. But look, if you check the other side of the imports, it's very bad. You go to Okaenshi right now, some of them are folding out.
We've got 4 minutes to end the program, and it's been quite extensive. I'm sure that we'll continue in other circles and when other guests also come on board. In the meantime, some very important international news on port and maritime industry are coming up next on your screens. Welcome back. Some few quick messages before we end the program. Please, why that the NHIL charges on cars are too high? Why is it that when your stuff pass through Tema Port, they charge too much when you import goods. This one says, good evening, sir. Please, can you ask why shipping lines charge on holidays? This is Nana Jeff from Tema Community 2. This one says, my bro, the import VAT is more than import duty. Why? This one says, every shipping line invoices include GPHA security charge from 300 Ghana cedis to 350 Ghana cedis per every container, and ask GPHA security which containers do they look after. About 7 years ago, there was no charges like that. Okay, I'm not getting this. Francis Smith, okay, I'm sure you are trying to say that about 7 years ago, the charges were not as high as this 350 Ghana cedis and 300 Ghana cedis. But why do the shipping lines even have different security charges? If it's security charge, it's supposed to be across board, because then they are taken from what they have been charged by the agencies and they are now passing it on. Shouldn't it be a flat one?
Well, we can ask and debate on that issue, because it's one thing that we think that even they should pass it on at all.
Okay.
It's not something that they should even pass it on.
Okay. So Kofi Adams says it would have been fair to invite SOAG to speak for the shipping lines. In fact, SOAG was invited. Rather, GUTA was the last the resort when SOAG couldn't make it. And it wasn't through any faults. The fellow was quite indisposed. So that's how it happened. But definitely, SOAG has been here already, and they will be back on again. The gentleman is always with us. Ayana was here not long ago, and then he will be back again to answer some of these questions. And when we get there, I'm sure we'll cross some of the bridges. Nana, going forward, you are saying that when some of these policies are being implemented, are you deeply involved? Do you contribute so that people actually feel the impact of the policies? Now, I get worried that in the whole system, we are able to reduce duty by 50%. The entire country should be jubilating. We should feel the impact every corner. If matches was even 2 cedis per box, we should be seeing 1 cedi per box. Why is it not like that? And to what extent are you contributing for these policies to be impactful?
You see, they've touted traders as, you know, that we drop from school and then we are doing trading. So when some of these things are coming now, they think they have to go for the technocrats to tell them what is happening at Makola, which is very wrong. But I will actually commend this government for a little effort that they've actually put in for engaging us more and more in issues like this. But we want it more. We don't want it in a way that they always want to, you know, compare their books and what is happening on the ground. Okay. It doesn't reflect.
Okay.
It doesn't reflect at all.
I'll let Madam also have the last bite. Shippers Authority, as we move out of here, what do we expect? More engagement with GUTA and others?
Yes, with GUTA and other agencies, we have already been engaging. We collaborate a lot with them. They serve on major shipper committees. We engage with the other agencies as well. Our only issue is the fact that we would like to have a review of the law. And even if you are talking about the present one, not to wait a year or two, but right now, we want to say that we have an ally and we want the support to be able to implement fully the ally, which includes negotiating charges with the shipping lines, and that they should come back to the table so that we can negotiate the charges.
Who should give you this power?
Our ministry, our parliamentarians, because at the end of the day, they are the lawmakers.
What move are you taking from Monday to ensure that they get this power to you?
From Monday going, we'll be there.
You'll be in their offices?
We'll be there.
Are we supposed to get any feedback, your one-on-one engagement with shipping lines as soon as possible?
Hopefully.
That you can share with us?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
They talked about sharing offices and all of that. What
oh,
next?
yes.
Yeah, let me put this thing out there that if you are a trader or an importer, you have issues, kindly come to former export promotion building. As for GUTA Greater Accra, we are there to serve the region and then beyond. So do not hesitate to keep your complaints to yourself. You are losing money. We are there to talk on your behalf and then make sure that trade facilitation in the country is to our benefit, not to the policymaker. Because everything the country stands on is on traders. It's our money that are being used to pay them. So let us voice out by coming to us with your problems. Our office is open now 24/7. Anytime you call our numbers, we will pick it up and then serve you as you're supposed to be. So that is it for you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching the program. And I should also assure you that we'll be here same time next week. And we're definitely going to have all those who matter as far as trade in the country is concerned to address some of the issues. The Finance Ministry has agreed they're going to be on here and will address some of the issues. We thank you for watching the program. See you next week.